an Institute of Practical Learning course on self-awareness. Discover the hidden path to less stress and more success. Step 1, talking about your early education. The Institute of Practical Learning is there to help you develop for yourself the practical skills that you're going to need when you leave university and school and join the real world, and also help with your mental health so you can be happy in the world of work. The approach is designed to meet an international audience, not necessarily fluent in English, and the pace is gradual, but the concepts come right from the very beginning and invite you to rethink how you have been educated and what you are going to need to work in the real world. The first course on self-awareness is vital if you're going to have a broad base of understanding yourself, understanding others, and being able to manage situations. At the moment, there is a real disconnect between the world of academia that is meant to be preparing young people for the world of work and what the world of work is really looking for from young people. And this causes a lot of stress for students because they're anxious about interviews, they're anxious about being able to undertake a new life. The Institute of Practical Learning is all about offering you everything you need to know in order to properly prepare yourself for that world of work and also protect your mental health from the anxiety, the false anxiety that many students appear to suffer from as they think they don't know enough, and yet they may very well have strengths that industry is looking for earnestly. The purpose of this lecture is to talk to you about learning. My focus for this part of it is going to be on the type of learning that you've had already. So I just gave you an example of that. I gave you a little rule about how you would know whether there was going to be a 29th of February or not, which was you divide the year by 4. Things like that, those rules, are practical rules. I could also be talking to you about the month of February. When was it invented? Why was it given that particular name? Later on, another emperor actually decided to call a month Augustus or August. So there you go. That is another type of learning. That's history. So I've done numbers and I've done history. So when you go to school, for the first few years of going to school, let's say you started going to school at 5 or 6, maybe in some parts of Europe it may have been later, but from when you start at school, initially in a primary school, the focus is in building your emotional and your social skills. So there are 4 types of intelligence, as you will hear me referring to constantly through this lecture. There is emotional intelligence, which is what goes on inside your mind, your feelings. There's your social intelligence, which is your interaction with other people. There's another type of intelligence, which I call applied functional intelligence, which is all about optimizing the way you use the knowledge and the skills that you have for a more productive purpose. You'll be pleased to know you do have a capacity within you. You have a particular kind of intelligence which is there available for you to develop around becoming more effective in your life, being able to prioritize more cleverly, make better use of your time, and interact with people, be able to do presentations, all those things. They can be taught and they will then come naturally to you. And the final type of intelligence is what most people know of as IQ. That stands for intelligence. and that stands for quota. So in a way, that is an actual measurement of, in theory, what is your intelligence. But it isn't your intelligence. It's not the whole of your intelligence, it's only one small part of the 4 types that you have. And when you go to school, initially, from, let's say, 5 years old to 10 or 11, a lot of your experiences in school are around these 2 here, developing your emotional and your social intelligence, and to some extent, your applied functional intelligence. And that'll be things like reading, writing, and doing arithmetic and sums. Now, from 11 onwards, 17, 18, most of your education, just going to touch this so I can see my screen. From 11 through 17 or 18, in terms of years, the development of your emotional intelligence and your social intelligence pretty much stops, and the focus moves from these basic skills of reading, writing, and doing sums into an area here, which I'm going to call academic. So this education here that you experience in your younger years, when your mind is really flexible and able to absorb all sorts of things, not just academic things. In fact, it's not very good at acquiring academic things, but it is very, very good at acquiring things to do with numbers, symbols, which become characters, and to some extent rules. And rules are processes to follow. So there you are as a young person, and you're taught to read, you're taught to write, you're taught to do things like drawing, not very much, but a little bit. And you may be taught many, many basic skills here, and they're great, and you acquire them and you use them, and you need those as your toolkit to survive in life as a member of a Western or a relatively advanced society. People expect you to be able to read and write and be able to do basic mathematics and that sort of thing. Now, where I believe it goes wrong is what happens then from 11 through 17 and 18. And the problem is the practicality of what you're taught disappears. Hold on a minute.
As you have grown up through childhood, school, and maybe even university, you've developed ways to defend the fortress of your mind. And what we want to do now is help you learn from smart watching and active listening new ways to extend the comfort zones of your life. We want to take you into a new dimension. Now, to do that, you have to be an active participant. You have to make notes of how you are progressing and set goals for yourself. So we recommend you start a book or Start making notes however you like to do that, and record what you're seeing and how you are making progress. We're going to help you develop your 4 intelligences: your emotional, your social, your practical, or AFI as we tend to call it, applied functional intelligence, and also make use of the academic intelligence that people have been so keen to help you develop in your school and university. So good luck with it.